Hey there, this is Darrell Stern, and this is another exciting lesson from the Stern Storming Marketing Academy. And today we're going to talk about creating a YouTube-driven video blog. Now, here's one of the main issues that I see that people are not doing. Okay, now you may have heard you need to start a YouTube channel. And there are some people that simply have a YouTube channel, and they're literally, becoming millionaires just from having a YouTube channel. And that's fantastic. Me, I look at saying, let's take the media that you're creating and use it in a number of different ways, all put together. Because there's one key element that is not happening when most people do their video blogging. Now, a vlog, this is another missing step. A vlog is usually this YouTube channel where there's episodes on a YouTube channel, and that's it. I say, well, what about the blog part of the vlog, right? Your blog is where you get your real SEO power. So I'll take you through this step by step because it's really quite amazing. So this is a video-driven blog by the amazing Saul Reisman here in Englewood, Colorado. The key difference between this just being out on a YouTube channel and being on his website is that I had the video 100% transcribed. And I'm going to take you through the formatting of this particular type of video blog in WordPress in just a second. First off, I will show you that the video here has been created in iMovie. Okay. So I filmed Saul using my phone and a simple lapel microphone. You can get a lapel microphone for your phone. It usually has a 3-pronged outlet. Goes into the bottom of the phone. You clip it on. It's got a long wire. So I can video Saul on site fixing cars. Now, if you are a gardener, you might want to do this out in your garden. If you're a scientist, you might want to do this in the laboratory. Doesn't really matter. But what you're doing in these video content blogs is that you are demonstrating something that you can do, right? If you remember, inbound marketing is bringing people in and giving them the hope that you can solve a specific problem. It's a landing page with a sign-up form that moves people into that lead nurturing process. Vlogging, or as I call it, blogging with video, put together for your SEO, is where you get to show your stuff. It's where you get to demonstrate that you really know what you are talking about and what you can do. So Saul fixes cars. So obviously we're out in his garage and he's fixing a car. So the video itself is put into iMovie. This is the video clip. I run some filters through that for sound, noise reduction, reduced background noise. And I usually do this little trick where I put on the equalizer bass boost. Now, I am in iMovie on a Mac. As you know, when you have a Mac, it comes with this amazing software. I'm sure there's software similar to the PC, but I am a Mac guy. So I'll show you the very beginning. That little clip at the front end was made using Adobe After Effects. Now, you can work with a person that knows that program. You can make your own animated kind of introduction to your movie. But that little clip in the front with the music behind it, as you notice, the music is a separate clip here, and I'm fading it out. Going into it is the same on every single one of these videos. Okay. Now, the video itself, I'm adding lower thirds as I go along. So I'm watching the video and I'm adding, let me make this screen bigger. I'm adding lower thirds into the video that say specific things. They talk about, this says, we want to keep your video in showroom condition, because he's talking about that. And at the end, I always have his phone number. I always have his name. And I always have that clear cut, call to action, which is, hey, he's talking about fleet vehicles and bringing his vehicle in. Then, of course, we have our closing clip right across there where it closes out the video. I'll play that for a second.
Hire fleet on the road. Please give us a call 7 days a week at 303-919-7760.
I love Saul. He's awesome. Got a little lens flare effect in there, all kinds of different things. So I export the movie file right? When you export it, it's going to be a huge MOV file, a QuickTime movie, which is going to be super, super, super big for uploading to WordPress, or uploading to YouTube, or uploading to Vimeo, or uploading to Facebook. It's going to take hours to upload it because it can be gigabytes and gigabytes. So I subscribe to Creative Cloud. Now there's other types of software that does this kind of thing, but I have software installed called Adobe Media Encoder. And what I do with a movie file is I drag it into here. That is an MOV. And I have it set up for the Vimeo 720p setting. Run that through. I get my MP4, right? And I'm all set. The next part is where I upload the video into YouTube. So I'm going to do that in just a second. Okay, guys. So I am in Saul Reisman's Saul's Automotive YouTube channel. Once you log into your YouTube, you click on this button over here. You'll see a button called Creator Studio, and that is what I'm going into to see all of his videos. Now, if I had a brand new video, I would simply click Upload. It would drag the file over. It would go into the setup where I can add the title and the description and the tags and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the older videos that we had put together. I'm going to edit it to show you the settings on it. So in this, I always want to put a keyword-rich title, okay? What that means is that if your blog is the answer to a question, right, like how I did this or how you can do that, write that out as a question. Now, this is about General Motors car, and it says giving a General Motors or Chevrolet car an upgrade. Local business, right? Saul is local. Local SEO is big. And I always say you should be a hometown hero before you try and take over the world. So I always put on his blogs, Englewood, Colorado. And obviously he's a local business. He can't fly to New Jersey and fix your car. Technically he could. But for now, his garage is in Englewood, Colorado. So in this, I'm putting in a description. I always put his phone number both at the top, and I'll actually add it on to the bottom of this video blog. I also then, since we're in this video blog over here, I also take the link to the blog. I switch this back over here, and I put that too as well in here in case people want to go and read the rest of the story on the blog. So there's always a loop, you understand. The videos are on YouTube. I can click and go to the blog. Okay, then we're going to get into the blog in a second. The tags, I'm always trying to use as many tags as I can. Chevy, sometimes people say Chevrolet. GM can also be General Motors, Auto Repair, Mechanic, Englewood, Denver, Colorado, and Camaro, which is another part that he says. When I'm about to publish this, I always click off the Google Plus check mark here. I paste in the entire post, as much of it as will fit. And I always have it on a playlist because playlists are really cool. Once someone goes into a video, they can then go through all the rest of the videos very easily by having it in a playlist. The other cool thing is if you take your playlist URL and put that in the footer of your emails, right? People can go in there and instantly see all those. So once this is saved, and I go over here, I get the full URL of the blog. I had all of the videos transcribed by a service called transcribe.com. There's a little promo code called SAVE10, SAVE10. Okay, when you put that code in, you'll save 10% on the videos. So I get the transcription. I put in the whole transcription in text mode. Okay, then I put the YouTube URL down the bottom here. You can see it of the post. Okay. Then I go back into visual mode, and now as you see, I have already added all the other effects, all the other H tags and links that I need in this blog. But here's what you do. So the first sentence of your blog is always an H2 tag. That's the second type of heading. Google likes it when your material is organized by heading, second headings, and third headings. So I always put an H2 tag at the top. Then in this blog, what I can do is I can take one of the bigger statements that he's talking about, and I can make that an H3 tag. The next thing that I'm looking, like you may have a blog, let's say, that has 5 different main points that you're making, right, about a particular issue, or 5 steps to doing something. So you always want to put that step in as a H3 tag. The other thing is that you don't just put step 1, step 2, step 3, but you say step 3 in fixing a radiator on a Chevy Camaro. Step 4 in, you getting it? You always put the whole sentence. You always put all the keywords in there. So I'm also looking for this. These are companies that Saul works with, right? They supply parts. So this is a particular website I found for this Pertec company. When I add a blog that is, or a link to a blog, or to a website, I should say, that is not part of Saul's, I always want to make sure I click off the tab, open the checkbox that says open in a new tab. Okay, so let's find something else here to do that would be an internal link. So I want to say there's horsepower numbers. I kind of like that because that's about souping up cars, which is one thing that that Saul does really well. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click the link, and I'm going to paste in the words horsepower numbers. Now, the little wheel there is going to spin around. It's going to look through all the other blogs and all the other pages to see if there is another reference to horsepower numbers. Now, there may not be, in which case, there is. Okay, so the first one looks like it's obviously the blog that we're currently in. Okay, we don't want to link to ourselves. But in this other blog, upgrading and maintaining a 1965 Ford Mercury Marauder, he says the same word. So I want to link that together. And I also want to bold this to give it a little more emphasis. It emphasizes it to the reader, and it also emphasizes it to the other, to Mr. Google. Okay, next. In Saul's blog, we call these crazy repair stories. I mean, that's our one category in our blog. And then, because they're all repair stories of repairing cars. Tags are the words that you're using within the blog. Okay, are the terminology that flows throughout categories. For instance, let's say he fixes a certain, like suspension. Let's say that he fixes, there's a certain part to a suspension, like a tie rod, that's part of a steering, right? So it's within the category of steering, but it's tie rod, it's something that he refers to a lot. So I put in my tags, which are those words that go throughout the categories. There's words that he always says. Add those. We do not need a featured image here because we're checking off video. Very important. This is a video blog, so I must check off the video button over there. Then I have my calls to action. Now in Divi, there's a button here, right here, that says add ET button. Okay, that's funny because I always think that's like a phone home button. But it's not. What the add ET button does is you can put in any URL. Okay, I'm going to Google. I'm going to put a big button. I want it to be light blue. And I say go to Google. How WordPress works is that it makes shortcodes. So as you see, this command here is in brackets. And I'm not going to get into too many technical details here, but what is happening inside of WordPress is it has a little file in there called functions within this theme, and what that does is it scans everything, and it says, is there anything in brackets? And if there is anything in brackets, what does it say inside of there? And that will be a command that it runs, because what that's doing is it's actually writing out HTML code that then will be viewed on the page. I know it's a little technical, but that's what this is doing. Now in the Divi Builder, we don't use shortcodes, but in the blogs, I love to use the shortcodes just for doing buttons. So here's the key thing. I have 3 calls to action. The one is a link to Saul's All Data Auto Vitals account. Right, what that does is it makes a pop-up screen where you can put in and set your appointment. Now, you may have one that is goes to your contact us page or your scheduler on Calendly, whatever it is. But the first call to action is always what I call the hard sell. That's the pick up the phone and call right now. We really want to work with you. Schedule your appointment. You notice how I say, too, schedule your Chevy GM or any car or truck upkeep and repair appointment. That's a lot of good keywords in there. We've got Chevy, we've got GM, we've got any car or truck, and what he's doing, upkeep and repair appointment, right? It might sound a little strange if you say it, but as a button and as for SEO, it's very clear that someone then understands, wow, okay, I can get my Chevy fixed, any kind of GM, any kind of car or truck there, and it's a very clear button. The next link is for Yelp, right? Check out his reviews, right? Get a little confirmation that he really knows his job. Now, perhaps you're not a local business and you have Google reviews or Facebook reviews and you're a big business consultant and you want people to know that you really know your stuff and you want that confirmation of those referrals that you're sending, that you can show people. So the softer sell here is to go check out his reviews on Google, make sure he's legit. The final one, the third call to action, is the softest one. And that is simply to join his conversation on Facebook, to join with him on Facebook, like the Facebook page, which does what? It nurtures a person towards a sale. If someone likes your Facebook page, they're getting to know you more. They're seeing your new content posted every day. And they're getting warmed up more and more and more to establish that trust between you and the audience. So, we have transcribed blog, H tags, H2, H3 tags, links to other websites, and links internally to other pages within his website, right? That show Google that there's an index to this blog, that he's talking about Chevy on a lot of different pages, and he's talking about repairing cars and repairing Chevys on a lot of different pages. We've got our video checked off. We've got our category checked off. We've got our tags checked off. So we would click post or publish on this, and then we go and we publish it. So actually, I'm going to update this because I made some cool further adjustments. And there's always time in your blogging, too, to go back and add more to it. You may say, well, my first blog obviously isn't going to have many links to other blogs because I haven't written any yet. So let's say you wrote 20 more blogs on this topic. You can go back to the first one that you ever wrote and go back and re-index it and go back and relink it to other blogs and things that you have made. Okay, so I clicked update. I'm going to view the post. And now I've got a beautiful video-driven blog with 3 separate calls to action. One other thing, in traditional WordPress, there's a sidebar over here, right, that shows latest posts and other posts. I don't really like that. And people have said, there should be this call to action, this form above the fold. That is very true on landing pages. In blogs, I want the reader to go through the process of reading and being engaged in this blog. And then when you get to the bottom, have that call to action. One big note, check on your blog. If you just have that comments module in the bottom, I don't like that. I shut comments off on all my blogs. And let me show you how to do that real quick. I always shut comments off. How you shut off comments is you pull down this little screen options tab. You see that? And I check off discussion and comments. And if I scroll way down the bottom, I simply uncheck allow comments on the blog. The other thing is in Divi, over here on the right, there is a setting. Do I want a sidebar on the left, the right, or full width? I love full width. I love big, beautiful blogs with big, beautiful pictures in them, with big, beautiful videos at the top. So when I go here and I go view post, there you have it. There's his video blog. Now, a lot of you might be saying, but no one's going to read that. Like, what's the point of this? Like, is anyone going to read it when it's in the video? Maybe not. But having that content written out and interlinked, right? That is what Google sees as raising up your page rank, raising up your listings, raising up your authority. So I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining. This is again, we just completed the construction of a transcribed, SEO enhanced, YouTube driven video blog. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson.